Hey, you tourists, it's your boy Domination. This is Back in the Basic. Chuck the Juice out, Text Baby Man. Nothing is back. You know what it is. Real men rise up, fake men rise up, ruler rise up, fake rise up, preacher, preacher, preacher. And the only place you ever go, ever go get it, only place you ever go get it, only place you ever go get it is right back in the Basic. Chuck the Juice out, Text Baby Man. Nothing is back. You know what it is. Real men rise up, fake men rise up, ruler rise up, fake rise up, preacher, preacher. And welcome to the Back in the Basic broadcast, Back in the Basic. And we're gonna talk about unsung previous episode, but this time we're going to talk about the episode is if y'all never heard of this group and you're not a true hip hopper if you don't know who these guys are. You will never be a true hip hopper if you don't know who these guys are. That's Eric Sermon and that's Percy Smith. Better known together is EPMD. You need to know who these guys are, man, because these guys were the true mean of golden era of hip hop. They like every time when they put out an album, they always put out an album with business stamps on it. They what you call of a businessmen of hip hop. So let's talk about these guys, man. How they meant a lot to me, and when I was coming up listening to these guys. I love Eric Sermon. I love Percy Smith. Shout out to those brothers. They from Long Island, the same place where Public Enemy and Craig Mack and all of them. They call it Strong Island. That's what they call it. Shout out to people from New York and all the area, especially Long Island. Let's talk about EPMD. EPMD is a hip hop. EPMD is American hip hop duo from Brentwood, Wood, New York. That's where they from. The dual name is a connotation of the members' names. ENPMD or is a critical acronym for Eric and Patrick. Eric and Patrick's making dollars. That's what it really stands for, because they was talking about. Because Eric Patrick, they making dollars. It references its members. MC, Eric Sermon, E, a.k.a. E double, and Patrick Smith, PMD, a.k.a. Patrick Mike Doc. During an interview on a college radio station, Wovi in 1987. Patrick Smith stated that the name was iterated from the original. We are originally known as EEPMD, which stands for Easy Eric Patrick, the microphone doctor, but choosing to go with EPMD because it was easy to say. Because they were supposed to call EPMD, but he dropped another E with EPMD because it was stand for Easy Eric Patrick Patrick D Mike Doctor. But they changed that, left out the E and put one E in there to PMD. Shout out to those brothers. Okay. He also stated that they dropped the two E's because NWA Eric Wright was already used Easy E as his stage name. Because of that as well, the group has been active for 35 years. Minimum two breakups in 2002. My bad. The middle breakup in 1992 and 1992 and middle breakup in 1992 and 1999. I'm explaining that later. And it's one of the most prominent acts in the East Coast hip hop. The word business is used in every title of the group's album. Every album. Every album also have a track with Jenny in the title. It is. These guys are legend. Eric and Patrick making dollars, or Eric Patrick Millennium Dual Cats. Yeah, shout out to those guys. They from Long Island. They started off their career in 1987, and then they break up in 1992, and in 1997 and 1999 and 2000 and 2006, and they got back together. And the Sleeping Bag Records, Def Jam Records, and Rock Nation Records, that's Jay-Z's label. All right, the history, the early years and mainstream success in 1987 and 92. Hail from the Brentwood Wood, Long Island, New York. EPMD first album, Strictly Business, appeared in 1988, and a feature with the underground hit Strictly Business, which is sampled Eric Clapton version of Bob Marley, I Shot the Sheriff. Many critics consider it the first album as the group most influenced. The group brand of funk viewed a sample heavy hip hop proved to be a major force in the genre. Unlike an old school hip hop, which was originally based on a disco hit, but eventually become more electronic, EPMD based its music mainly on lifted funk and rock break for sample, and helped to popularize their usage along with Molly Mall and Public Enemy. You a customer. Yeah, you are a customer. I like that. And commonly and notably of Steve Miller. Fly Like an Eagle. Cool in the Game, Jungle Boogie, the bass line from ZZ Top, Cheap Shades, and drummer beat Roger Linwood LM2 Machine. Jenny about a romantic Roger gone bad would be a revisit on no less than a five sequel, a first for hip hop. You got to chill. You got to chill. I love that record. You got to chill. You got to chill. Use the 1980 funk band Zap. More bounce to the ounce, which has become one of the most enduring samples of source for hip hop. EPMD later appeared on the single "Everybody Get Up" by Zap frontman Roger Troutman, rest in peace, on his last solo album, Bringing the Gap, in 1991. I Am Homesick was covered some 12 years later by Rage Against the Machine, and managed early on by Russell Simmons. Russell management, the group toured with much hip hop liniment as Run DMC, Public Enemy, DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince Bel-Air. DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. All right. EPMD was signed fresh and Sleeping Bags Records, which evenly released its debut album, Strictly Business, by electric funk pioneer Christopher Medley Newt, who also worked as a A&R to representative for the label, and proudly spelled by several strong singles. You Got to Chill, and the album title track. The album was evenly certified gold, sold over 500 copies. That's great. 500 copies, as it did in 1989. Follow up Unfinished Business. The financial frustration followed when Sleeping Bags went under in 1992. The two EPMD albums, and Nice and Smooth. If y'all don't know who these guys is, that's Craig Nice and B Smooth. They're a great rap group as well. Shout out to them. The debut album are Equipment by Podority EMI Records. Before the label was sold to World Life Records, the duo's Sleeping Bags contract was credited by Def Jam. EPMD returned in 1990 with Business as Usual and Business Never Personal 2 years later. By the 1992, the group Son over a Expect a Family, dubbing it the Hit Squad, which includes Redman, K Solo, and Das Effects. Hurricane G, that's Eric Sermon's girlfriend, and I think they have a child, a former girlfriend. They're not together no more. And Knuckleheads. In 1992, EPMD has a hit with its song Crossing Over, which notably of rappers making Brusley considered to pop in order to get in the mainstream attention from the music audience. The song becomes a hit, peeping at the number 42 on the Billboard Hot 100, and in doing so becomes their bigger hit to date. Biggest hit to date. And here's the breakup, man. Here's the sad breakup right here. And I remember this when this happened. It was all over. They was talking about this. The first breakup in the feud in 1993 and 96. EPMD called it quits in 1993. Under the controversy circumstances, according to the interview in Source. The Source been out since the 80s though, before Benzino and all that. Even though started by David Mays, Source is not the biggest thing like it was. What beat him is the Double XL. That's what got him. And Rap Page, that's an old magazine, in late 1991. Smith House was burglarized by Armor of Invade. According to Smith, unsure the police investigation, one of the appeared in the code of apparently given up Sermon's name as have accusationally paid them to do it. It's crazy. Why would Eric Sermon would do this? I mean, it's hard to believe because they were going through the breakup, not getting their royalties, not getting paid, or none of that. So even though you got a Hit Squad, that's Patrick's side, even though it's supposed to be him and Eric. But then it went from Hit Squad to Def Squad. That's Eric Sermon. I'm going to explain it. Sermon was arrested and abruptly and dishonorably for questioning, but no charges are fulfilled. Still, it led to the legislative attention, and by the time of the breakup, Sermon initially financed and possibly on Smith's part. The duo found itself also solo by default. Sermon debut in 1983 with no pressure, followed by the Double or Nothing in 1995. That's when Eric Sermon did his own thing. Def Jam presents Eric and also Sis in 2000, Music in 2001, and React 2002. Smith released it in 1994, Shady Business, followed by Business is Business in 1996. And it's messed up what happened, man. I don't know. I can't say Eric Sermon did this, but he did have a problem with Smith because not getting their royalties, not getting paid. So he took Redman and Keith Murray and and all the rest of them, and did his own thing. And Persia Smith took the DOS effects and K solo on that and all that. It was ugly at that time. It was ugly. It was. But I'm glad they work out their differences. I'm glad. And he didn't press charges too, because even though they did a music a lot, they go way back. But don't let mix with business with friendship, and don't mix friends with business, because it's gonna mess up a relationship forever. When stuff like this can happen to anybody, it's sad. But I'm glad they work it out and they squashed it. And first reunion and the second breakup in 1997 and 2005. The duo reunited in 1996, recording a coming back LP, Back in Business, in 1998. A remix of the song Strictly Business appeared by the A&R men who signed the duo while at Fresh and Sleeping Bags. Christopher Menford Sermon released an album with Redman and Keith Murray as the Def Squad in 1998, and El Nino was certified gold. That same year, EPMD last LP, Out of Business, was released in 1999 as both a single CD and a limitless edition double CD. The limited edition double CD included both new material and recording versions of its greatest hits. Smith released The Awakening in 2003 on his own Hit Squad label, and Sermon released Chillin' Town NY 2004 on a Motown and Universal, a Hit Squad combination LP overseen by Smith, and a feature a new EPMD track was released on Nervous Records in 2004. Alright, the second reunion, 2006 present. A reunion EPMD with DJ Scratch performing live at the Rocking the Bells tour in New York on October the 14th, 2006 at the B.B. King Blues Club and Grills, their first NYC show in 8 years. Can you believe that's great? 8 years. The tour also featured former Hit Squad members Keith Murray, DOS Effects, and Redman. 2 months later, EPMD and Keith Murray released a new song titled The Main Event, produced by DJ Known How, in the March 2007 issue of Swedish Hip Hop magazine. Quoted, Eric Sermon and Persley Smith talk about however the duo planned to record to go together again. On its recent tour, the group announced that it was working on a new album, intentionally titled We Mean Business. And they definitely mean business. On June 27, 2007, the group appeared on BT Rap City to freestyle. EPMD new single, Blow, was released on Viago from Unique Distribution during August 2007 as a prelude to a new album that was to be released in 2008. The single intentionally become a regular feature on the Funkmaster Flex show. The same month, the duo make a number of surprises live appearances, including the Rock the Bells tour with Rave Against the Machine, Wu-Tang Clan, Cypress Hill, Mos Def, and others. In June 2008, during an interview with Hip Hop Game, Eric and Purges, Eric and Patrick confirmed that We Mean Business would be released on September the 9th. The album evenly engaged in December 2008, and the features guest appearances from the likes of KRS-One, Redman, along the others. In the end of the interview, they mentioned is a possibility of a Hit Squad and Def Squad double disc album, but they have some problems with K Solo. Yeah, that's terrible. On August the 3rd, 2008, EPMD joined Method Man and Redman on stage at the Rock the Bells concert at Jones Beach, New York. The following month, EPMD take the stage as a part of allhiphop.com Bleeding Grounds events at SOP in New York City. The duo performed many of their early hits and featured Keith Murray as a guest. In March 2011, EPMD performed at the Lordisment for musician hip hop showcases at Advancement of 222 in August, Texas. It was the duo's first time performing in August. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. And you would think to perform everywhere, that's their first time performing in August, Texas, where they performing many of their early hits, as well as the cover songs and freestyle rhymes. And here's their albums. Do you see what I mean? Strictly Business in 1988. Unfinished Business in 1989. Business as Usual in 1990. Business Never Personal 1992. And Back in Business in 1997. Out of Business 1999. We Mean Business in 2008. And Big Business that come out this year. You see what I mean? The best album I think I have Unfinished Business and Strictly Business. Unfinished Business, Strictly Business. One of those albums. Those are great albums, man. But the best album that ever worked they ever done is called Unfinished Business. But my favorite song all in the world, you guys, you basically not only so what you saying? You got to chill. No, not you got to chill. So what you saying? My bad. What you saying? And so what you saying? It got that scratch in the back, and they dressing like these black Catholic robes on, man. It was crazy, and a bunch of it was just four black men and one white guy. It was funny. They was in the sewage, man. It was very funny, but it was funny moment, great moment. Put your head to bed. That I'm a microphone doctor, and so on. Anyway, either Eric Server was a trip, and kill the billboard. Because, I love these two guys, man. I forgot what Patrick Smith, PMD, and Eric Sermon, those two guys, man, they are deserved to be appreciated in what they done for hip hop. So Eric Sermon and Patrick Smith, I'm thanking y'all for keeping y'all to thank you for to change my life. The music that y'all changed me all through the years. And I hope it be many more music y'all done to come, and y'all legacy will live on. Shout out to these two men, even though they fall out, but they got back together and worked things out, their issues. And I hate to see two brothers going at it. I really do. They do good business with each other. Shout out to Eric and shout out to Patrick. Y'all are always EPMD to me. Y'all mean business in hip hop, and y'all always mean a lot to business in hip hop. And your music will live on for many years to come. It will inspire me, and I hope it inspire many others for more to come. So shout out to y'all, much love. And also Patrick Smith, he followed me on Twitter, man. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. And much love to Eric Summer. EPMD is always be forever for many years to come. Plain and simple. So, hey, it's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Basics. That's Chugga to do solid text, baby. Until next time, all right? All right. Peace. I'm out. All right. Peace.